This is a nightmare. This is an OTTO DIY Plus robot that has Bluetooth connectivity and you can control it from your phone and stuff, but there's a little bit of a saga here. The main part of this broadcast is to alert you to the fact that you can make your own custom 3D printed heads for these little OTTO robots, which are so great. They're created by Camilo Parapalacio and his team. And this is the original one that he gave us, which is so nice of him. We met at the ARM Innovator event in Shenzhen, I think. One of them. And yeah, I was extremely excited to receive and build this robot. It was super fun. We did a video on it, which I should link below. And then I decided to make a custom Hackster version of the head, which I call Space Cat. And it's got this written on the top, and then our logo and stuff, and it looks like a cat. Looks kind of sad, but it's kind of a cute little thing, just like on its own. It's got like, boop, 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 boop. You know, it can like be friends with people or whatever. However, I did not notice that there are two kinds of OTTO robot. Let me show you. So here's the tutorial for the DIY Plus Arduino Bluetooth controlled robot. Easy to 3D print. This is true. It's very easy to 3D print. And it dances and it can do all kinds of cool stuff. I love this robot. I love robots in general, obviously, but this one is especially cute. And I think partly because it's so minimal. We've seen a lot of different variations on this robot and it's a classic. This tutorial includes full build instructions, so you can totally follow that. You can also find the files on Thingiverse, which I think they're linked at the bottom of the project. Let's see, custom parts and enclosures. Yeah, there's links to Thingiverse files. And what I did is, when I wanted to create my own custom enclosure, I went ahead and downloaded this OTTO DIY Build Your Own Robot set of files and modified the head file. Let's see, where's the list of files? It's down here, yeah. Modified the head file to give it whiskers and like cute little ears and stuff, and it was all just hunky-dory and gorgeous and fun and beautiful and silly. The problem is that from the OTTO regular DIY robot to the OTTO DIY Plus, which is the one with Bluetooth and more servos, they have changed the side that the little ports are on, so I put it on the wrong side. And that means that I can't use my little kitten head on it at all. So fast forward to yesterday, we were sitting at the office table. Well, a few days ago I like remodified this thing in Tinkercad. The nice thing about Tinkercad is that it's really easy to upload existing models and modify them and mash them up with your own shapes. They provide you with a bunch of basic shapes, including like boxes, cylinders. You can add text. That's how I did the Space Cat thing. You can add, all kinds of things. Plus, there's even some shape generators and printable kits like a dinosaur or a skeleton. Oh, I should have seen that before Halloween. Anyway, so that's all on the right sidebar. So you can modify stuff really easily with Tinkercad. So I went in and mashed up my Space Cat with the OTTO DIY Plus. I didn't want to remodel everything, so I basically just sort of grafted the two together. And this has ended up being a little more complex than I expected because Tinkercad is great for beginning stuff, but it's really hard to do stuff in a parametric way so that like you have exact measurements. And so I took this as the main body of the thing and then kind of put these adjacent to each other, and the way that you edit stuff in Tinkercad is you sort of drag stuff on top of each other and then you can make stuff into holes. So you make a cube and you can make it a solid cube or a hole that you could like then implant into another cube to create a cube-shaped hole in that cube, for example. Not sure I'd explain that perfectly, but anyway, I ended up with like a couple of little ridges where the two sort of mashed up. Another issue is that, so the Space Cat, the original OTTO one, is slightly smaller and also has the ports on the other side. And also, the new one, the Plus, doesn't have these little tabbies on the front and back. So I cut out a bunch of the stuff in the cat one and just to sort of make it fit with the other one. So there we go. You can see that it has the Plus front and back, the Plus ports, and then just like a little bit of a suggestion of a ridge, which is also sort of masked kindly by the fact that it's 3D printed and I use a 0.3 millimeter resolution because I am impatient and I always want to do stuff fast, partly because I always do it at the last minute. Hello, Halloween. It also has this little thingy-majig in the bottom at the back, or the top of the back, and these little screw holes that allow you to attach stuff. So those are all in the new Space Cat. I come into the office for lunch, and well, okay, so one of my colleagues, who shall not be named, got really excited about putting it together with the new one, and I was excited about that too. Turns out some people don't really pay great attention to which wires go where when they disconnect them, and it has apparently also been like messed with a little bit before several times since I built the robot, so I think people just really enjoy like pulling it apart and putting it back together, which makes sense because it's really simplistic looking on the outside, but it houses this really cool complex inner stuff. The problem is when the inner stuff comes out, then you start putting it back together again. We sort of tried to connect it to stuff, and then I noticed that two of the components were getting really hot. Like, the kind of hot where you can kind of smell it, do you know? Anyone who's worked with electronics that have not been connected up properly knows this smell where you're just like, something smells warm somehow. It's not like burning, and it's not melting anything necessarily, but it's just like, you can kind of be like, ooh. Anyway, that's what it was doing with this microphone board and then one of the little touch sensors, and I decided it was time to just unhook it, and then just, at some point I will do a complete rebuild from scratch, but in the meantime we have not only a robot dressed up as a cat, but also as a sort of Frankenstein-y cat that's like, zombie robot! Yeah, so it still like turns on and everything. And does stuff. Kinda. Yeah, that's not what we want. So, he's gonna stay off for now. OTTO, you'll be back. Space Cat will be back. And we'll do another video once that happens. Alright, have an awesome time. I'm gonna be back with a couple more Halloween-y videos today, so stay tuned, and we'll catch you soon. Ciao.